What's up, everyone? So today's going to be a little bit different. Thanks for tuning in. Instead of taking you out on one of my adventures, I realize it's the perfect opportunity for me to formally introduce myself. So I realized this week that I hadn't posted a video where I actually introduced who I am and why I started this channel. So I found a few questions that I thought would be fun to answer to help you get to know me. And before I jump into them, I thought I'd just share really quickly why I chose to start this channel. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Alana Uyema, and my full name is actually Alana Kealohalani Uyema, and that is, it's Hawaiian, and Alana means light or buoyant, and my parents gave me that name because they wanted me to be someone who was uplifting and who lifted people up. And Kealohalani came from my dad's middle name, and it means heavenly loved one. And I've loved those names because they've been great reminders and names to live up to for myself. And so, one of the reasons why I started this channel was simply to get out of my comfort zone. And one of the things I had always said was that I would never start a YouTube channel. I would be too scared and too shy to be in front of a camera. And so last year I decided, you know what? You're on this kick of trying things that are outside of your comfort zone, and starting a YouTube channel became one of those things. And so I went and I decided to do this to push myself out of my comfort zone. But another reason why is because we had moved from Hawaii. My husband and I moved from Hawaii here to Vancouver, Washington about 4 years ago. And within those 4 years, we had done very little to explore and enjoy everything that's beautiful about this area. And I saw my sister going out and doing a lot of really cool things. She went on some amazing hikes. She saw some cool waterfalls, and I was like, man, I'm missing out. And part of it was because I was working at our family restaurant, and my dad and I were there from before we opened until after we closed, and I basically lived in that restaurant the first 2 years that we were here. And it wasn't until we sold the restaurant that I kind of got to see a little bit more. However, the day that we sold the restaurant is the very same day that I started my handmade business, making and selling paper flowers. And that business took off a lot faster than I had expected, and it kept me super busy. So for the next year, I was super busy with that, and I was getting to the point where I was like, man, I need to just schedule time in to start experiencing some of the hikes and things that the Pacific Northwest has to offer. I do it when we go on vacation, but I never did it when I was here and at home. So having a channel was an excuse to go out and explore and to document those moments in my life. And that's kind of another reason why I started the channel. I love watching YouTube videos, and I would be really envious when I'd see people who had videos of these cool occasions in their life. They'd look back and they'd see things that were like really neat, and I was like, man, I would be lucky if I even had a picture of those moments. And so it also became a motivator to start taking more video and to capture more memories so that we could look back and appreciate those things that we'd gone through. And lastly, but not the least at all, is it kind of has to do with my name, and it kind of has to do with this story. So, story time. When I was in second or third grade, I was living in Texas at the time, and our class did this like skit thing for our parents for parent, must have been parent teacher night, or one of those nights where the parents get to come and we get to show them our classroom, and this is where my desk is, and introduce them to our teacher and our friends. And it was on that night that we did this little skit. And in the skit, I had the role of someone who went around with a mirror. And so everyone else in the skit kind of stood in this like semicircle, and they were all talking about the things that they didn't like about themselves. So someone would say something like, I don't like my hair, it's too curly and it's too big, or my nose is too big, or my eyes are too slanted, and things like that. They'd say things that they didn't like about themselves. And my job was to take a mirror and to put it in front of them and say, you're wonderful or you're beautiful because of your kind personality, because of your smile, because of this talent, because of whatever it was. And that has always kind of stuck out to me, and kind of with my name, as something that I would want to be known for. I would want my name to be synonymous with somebody who loved the Lord, who was able to help people feel good about themselves and to see themselves in a better light, and to be someone who inspired them to not just, feel good about themselves, but to actually take action, to do something to live a fuller and happier life. And so, like I mentioned, I was going through this little thing where I started to try to do things that were outside of my comfort zone. And I was also posting a lot online about the success I was having with my business. And people started to say, let me know how inspired they were by those things. And they started to say that I was really brave. And they loved coming on this journey with me. And I realized that this would be an awesome opportunity for me to have this channel to go and inspire people to do just that, to recognize their own awesome and greatness, I guess, and to have the courage to go out of their own comfort zones, to try things that they thought they could never do, or to just realize, get rid of those excuses. Yes, I may be busy and I can't travel, but I can go and explore my backyard and things like that. And so those are the reasons I started this channel. And so I'm super grateful for everybody who has been tuning in. And if you like that kind of thing, please, please, please subscribe and like this video. And if you want to be tuned in for the future videos that I post, hit the notification bell, and then you'll be able to be notified of when those videos are posted. And I post videos every Saturday, so I try to be really consistent. So far, I've been doing really good this year. And we'll see where it goes from there. But I love taking you all on this journey, and I'm so grateful for anybody who's been supporting me, especially as a new tuber. I can't speak. And especially for those who have been supporting me as a new YouTuber. So I found a few questions, and I'm going to pick 5 to just kind of answer that I thought were fun to help you get to know me a little bit more. And if you hear anything that I share that you relate to, let me know in the comments below. Or if you'd like to know more details on some of these things, also let me know in the comments below. So here goes. Okay, question number 1. Do I rehearse before talking on the phone? Yes, I do. I rehearse before talking on the phone because I don't like talking on the phone. I realize a big reason for this is because I depend a lot on body language and when it comes to social cues. And when I can't see someone, it makes me kind of anxious. So I would much rather talk to somebody in person or through text or email. And another reason is because I kind of don't like getting phone calls when I'm in the middle of things. I feel like it interrupts my flow of things. And so I always feel like when I call someone that I might be interrupting them or bothering them. But yeah, I rehearse all the time what I'm going to say when I call someone, even if that's not where the conversation ends up going. The only people I don't really rehearse before calling is maybe like my parents or my husband. Other than that, I always kind of plan ahead what I want to say and what are the main points I want to hit, because I'll get really anxious because I can't see how the other person is reacting. If I know the person well enough that I can kind of visualize what they look like from their voice, then I'm okay. But that's why I don't like talking on the phone. I don't even like making phone calls to order pizza. I remember that was one of those things where when I first got married, I was like, Siona, you have to order the pizza because I did not want to call. Yeah, am I the only one? Please tell me I'm not the only one that's weird like that. But yes, I rehearse all the time. Okay, question number 2 is, if you could wake up tomorrow having gained a quality, what would it be? A quality or ability, and what would it be and why? So I would pick teleportation. I would want to be able to teleport anywhere. It would save a lot of time, and I want to travel and experience new cultures and meet new people. And I just like the idea that I wouldn't have to fly on a plane for 3 hours or 2 hours or 12 hours and skip that whole ordeal. And I really love the ice cream in France, and I always say I wish I knew Superman so he could just fly and go pick me up some ice cream and get it back to me before it melts. But I can't do that, so teleportation would be really awesome to make that happen. Um, I'm kind of curious what ability you guys would want. Flying, maybe? Read minds. I don't know why I automatically think of like the X-Men and all of the superpowers that they have, but that's what I think of. I wouldn't want it to be a quality or ability that like you could learn to develop, because I feel like that would be a waste of the answer to this question. So teleportation is the one I'd pick. Okay. Number 3, what is my idea of a perfect day? This may sound really cheesy, but my idea of a perfect day would just be able to spend time with my husband and eat good food and either spend time with people or make memories, trying something new and creating memories, just trying new experiences. Maybe that sounds cheesy. I don't know. I just love hanging out with my husband. When people ask me what my hobby is, my favorite hobby, and that's what it is. It's hanging out with my husband. And funny story, we actually, when we first got married, we were going to school full time, and we had a job where we were the only people on the island for Circuit City that were subcontracted out to install home theater systems. And so this was around the time when flat screen TVs had just come out, so people didn't know how to put them up, and we'd spend all day either going to class, and then after class, or the days we didn't have class, we were in people's homes climbing ladders together and carrying these 40-inch TVs and putting them on people's walls. But so fun. I don't know. Those are some of my favorite memories. It's just any time I've gotten to spend all day with him. And also working together in front of other people when you're married is a good way to get some great tips. We used to get the best tips because people would be so amazed that we were able to work together. And the tips would just be because one, we did a good job, but then also because they were just like, go take each other out on a date. And that was always super fun. And we also got to know each other really, really well because we were spending so much time with one another. Okay, next question is, what is my favorite snack at the moment? And so my favorite snack at the moment is something very specific, and I don't know if this is weird, but it is a open-faced s'more with peanut butter that's made in the oven. And I know that's super specific, but it's because I recently have found out that I have a lot of food sensitivities, and it's kind of a bummer, but I've realized that I should stay away from things like eggs, dairy products, cheese, and that's eliminated things like ice cream or custard pie, which used to be one of my favorite foods to eat, and just a lot of things. Like I usually bake a lot, and it's taken me a long time to find anything that I can eat that I'm not getting those negative effects. Once I eliminated those things from my diet, whenever I eat them, my skin gets puffy and irritated. I don't breathe as well, and I sleep really bad. And so I've been trying really, really hard not to eat them. And because of that, these open-faced s'mores have become my go-to snack. And so the way you make it, now let me just explain how you make it, because it's not just like those s'mores that you make over the campfire. It has to be made in a very specific way. So you take the graham cracker, you put a little bit of Jif peanut butter on top, then you put your chocolate. Then I take a marshmallow and I put just a little bit of peanut butter on the actual marshmallow, and I use that to stick it to the chocolate so it won't move. And then I stick that in the oven under the broiler for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, until it's like perfectly golden brown. So what's awesome about making a s'more like this, like, and you don't put another graham cracker on top, you don't do that. But the awesome thing about doing that is it toasts the graham cracker, so it's like, I don't know, it's more crumbly, but toasted. I don't know how to explain it. And then the peanut butter is warm, and the chocolate is melted all the way through, and the marshmallow is soft all the way through and perfectly golden brown with that crunch. So it's just, to me, that right now is the perfect snack, and it's been my go-to snack at the moment until I can figure out something else I can eat. So if you suffer from the same kind of food allergies that I do, or if you're lactose intolerant, I'd love any suggestions for dairy-free, egg-free type snacks, because I'm looking for them. Fruits are always an option, but you know, I can only eat fruit so often, and I don't really like to eat fruit right before I go to bed. So any snacks, I'll take the suggestions. I love trying new things. Food is one of my biggest passions, so it's a real bummer that I'm found that I have this food sensitivity. So any suggestions would be much, much, much appreciated. Okay, so last question is, what would I consider my weaknesses? So there's a few that I would say are pretty obvious. Like, one is that I've been naturally shy most of my life. Being naturally shy, so changing schools a lot. I changed schools 11 times growing up, and every time I changed schools, I'd literally worry myself sick. I'm more observant, and it takes me a little while before I will open up in a lot of cases. I've gotten a lot better at that. I've learned some skills that have helped me to be able to open up more quickly and to develop these relationships with people really, really fast. But being naturally shy has been a weakness of mine. Another weakness is it's hard for me to say no. I love helping people, and sometimes I want to help people too much, and so I say no. I say yes to things when I should say no. Because I don't have the time to actually do those things for them. And it's been a blessing and a curse, because when I commit to things, I make sure I do them. And so it's helped me to be really organized and figure out how to be productive and create systems for things so that I can get things done without thinking. But it's also been bad, because then I realize I am hurting myself by doing things for other people more than I think of myself. Like, I didn't put myself first enough. And another weakness that I realize I have is that I care too much about what other people think. I worry a lot about what other people think. That's one of the things that has stopped me from trying and doing so many things in my life. And I've slowly been getting better at that. I've been learning things about myself, and I've been learning different techniques on how to cope with that. But last year, we went to a wildlife safari thing, and we signed up for a special thing to interact. Oh, it was a meet and greet with the elephants. And when we went and did this, we all got to wait in line. We went to the bullpen and stuff, and we got to take our turns meeting the elephant. We could pet the elephant's trunk. We got to take pictures with it, spend some time with it, and it's therapeutic for the elephants and things like that. But I was so worried about taking up somebody else's time that I rushed through my own, and I was so busy paying attention to oh wait, are the people behind me getting anxious, and how's everybody else in our group that I went with, how are they enjoying themselves? And so I realized, man, I missed out on enjoying the experience myself because I was so worried about everyone else. And so that's been a weakness that I'm trying to overcome, is not care so much about what other people think and not feel like everyone's judging me. And yeah, so that's one of my greatest weaknesses, I would say. And those are my 5 questions. So if you have anything in common with me, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I'd love to get to know you all just as much as this is an opportunity for you to get to know me. And thanks so much again for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more of these from me. And I don't know, I kind of am curious, what kinds of videos do you like to watch? Do you like the ones where I'm more out and going on excursions, those vlog type videos? Would you like more of these where we just sit and chat? Is there a certain topic that you'd like to learn more about? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out. and we'll move forward from there. And thanks again so much for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video.